My name's Elisa Claassen, and my family has lived in this Everson part of the valley for, around 100 plus years. You just go up the hillside to the cemetery, and we have a couple different family members there. As far as connections to the community and the library, my grandfather, E.W. Leonard, served as a state House member and a state senator in this community for 29 years. And so we were raised with the idea of community service. And so part of the library memories for me involve community service. When the library was first beginning here, it was a bookmobile. So when we were growing up and had moved here from Bend, Oregon, we would come here to see the bookmobile. Then as the building got built and eventually was named after the Macbeth family, Mr. Macbeth had been my mom's favorite teacher growing up. He actually taught PE. And unlike me, who loves art, my mom loved PE. So she was very gladly going out there and playing ball. Once we got the library here, lots of memories of the early librarians, Mrs. Skinner, and my friend Becky's mother, Mrs. Notaboom. And just, again, from the very beginning, even in a very small building, this was a community center. As the community would gather, not just to get books, but to catch up on news and information. When we lived in Bend, Oregon before coming here, I was already in grade school and eagerly doing summer reading programs, and that continued coming here. And then as you go into adulthood, the giving back and what that meant inside the library system itself, beyond Everson, I would volunteer and do children's programs, Ferndale and Linden and Blaine and throughout the community. At that time, Catherine Surratt, in charge of the children's programs, would give me leeway to not only do the customary programs about making gifts or holiday-related things, but I could make up some of my own programs and dress up like Laura Ingalls Wilder or kind of have some leeway to do that, and that was fun. Then, once I got to be on the Everson Friends board, that role expanded a little bit into a very hands-on board. We weren't just sitting and talking, we were doing things. And so the doing things meant we needed to expand a small building. So a few of us got together and we worked on the grants together to get some additional funds, not only from the community members, but also from the Paul Allen Foundation. Since I personally had not done grants before, another board member, Mary Dumar, we sat down and did it together. And that did help the building come together. After that, we needed to finish landscaping around the building, so that was the next hands-on project. So that involved, I was kind of ignorant at the time. I hadn't done a lot of landscaping. And so it actually involved a hurry up and figure out what that meant moment. It turns out that we didn't even have dirt outside of the Everson facility, that we had to actually, call and have people get trucks and haul away the gravel. Then Susan Johns, one of the library staff members, had to actually stand and make sure nobody fell in the hole that resulted. And then someone else had to very quickly bring in dirt. They had to bring in stuff to plant all of our plants and everything in. And since we had a $0 budget, everything had to be achieved with people who were willing to volunteer and people who were willing to donate all the resources. And since you can see, we had a lot of that happen. Lots of different people volunteered, and a lot of different people literally, when I told them what I needed, I didn't have anyone turn me down. And then one day I got to go and help plant the lawn during 90 degrees of weather. And now it gets enjoyed by children, and I mean, it's nice that we have a lawn there. So as far as library moments, as a patron, not only does the library have all the books, but seeing it so it keeps up with the times. The online presence and selecting all the books virtually during the night or during a work break, online, coming in to get them. Maybe you can make suggestions, and I've requested books that have come even from other countries because of the interlibrary loan system. When I was on the board, I had never listened to any type of audiobook, or at that time book on tape. Now I'm a big fan. I'm commuting into Bellingham. I am weeding in my yard, and I'm very easily entertained by some fabulous readers. Then I would like to just think of some of the different people that have been involved. The library system has had a phenomenal staff, people that are working above and beyond, excellent customer service, and so many people that really have forged friendships, and they have brought in resources for the community, special speakers, or a history center. You've looked at the different librarians over time that truly have made this their library, and again enhancing the community resource. So I appreciate you having the time to share of my memories, again being a volunteer, a patron, someone who has been watching over decades as the library has been changing, even in a rural community, to meet the new needs of a growing community. So I thank you for this opportunity.